Welcome to the course of Energy Conservation and Management. Myself, Anirban Sarkar, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department of JIS College of Engineering, Kolkata. We are discussing about Module 3, that is Total Energy Concept, CHP cycles and their applications. Today's session, we will discuss about cogeneration with reciprocating engine cycle. Learning outcome: understand the performance and optimal design criteria for reciprocating engine cogeneration. Reciprocating engine performance is expressed in terms of heat rate, which is the quantity of heat in BTU, that is British thermal unit, or may be measured in kilojoule or kilocalorie. It is required to generate 1 kilowatt hour of electric power. It is also expressed in terms of specific fuel consumption, which is quantity of fuel consumed in grams per bhp per hour or pound per bhp per hour. Here bhp is the brake horsepower. Performance of reciprocating engine would greatly depend on the ambient air conditions, fuel quality, cooling water supply, site altitude, quantity of lubrication oil, and supercharger. Reciprocating engine in industry operate under a variety of conditions. These range from low speed output, though the more highly rated engines with variable outputs. Practices for optimizing reciprocating engine performance. The reciprocating engine based cogeneration operated and maintained in the following mode would provide the optimum performance. Number 1, at operating stage. So in this operating stage, first criteria is best operating mode. Power or heat operated depending on the total power load of the industry. Number of reciprocating engines are arranged on one line so that one or more engines can be operated according to demand of power. With such philosophy of operation, it is possible to run the reciprocating engines close to the rated capacity so as to achieve optimum specific fuel consumption or heat rate. Such method of operation would avoid running of the engine under capacity to do extent feasible, which otherwise would result into higher heat rate. Second criteria, that is normal operating stage. The reciprocating engine of small capacity to large capacity are available. it would be better to avoid small capacity engines except for emergency standby source of power, as they offer almost no potential for heat recovery so as to operate in real cogeneration mode. However, the principal factor for selection of size would be power heat ratio as explained elsewhere. Following points are important for efficient and trouble-free operation of this reciprocating engine. First point is the operating temperature of the engine should be maintained within the normal limits specified by the manufacturer. The oil temperature is normally maintained between 65 to 70 degrees centigrade. Second point, prolonged overload condition on the engine should always be avoided. Unbalanced load condition should be limited so that rated current is not exceeded in any phase of generator. Next point, it is desirable to provide suitable flywheel inertia to limit the cycle irregularity. It is desirable to maintain the engine speed at normal level. Sudden load imposition or shedding may abrupt change the speed and may damage some moving parts. Do not allow the exhaust temperature to go above 430 degrees centigrade by preventing overloading and restriction air supply to improve the fuel efficiency. Cooling water pH should be maintained between 7 to 8 to avoid corrosion and scaling. And the last point, try to run the large rated engine at more than 50% and small rated engines at 60% of their ratings to have better performance. Next is control for reciprocating engines. Controls of the reciprocating engines can be achieved through amount of fuel injected into the combustion chamber of the engine. The governing system of the reciprocating engine should be very precise and extremely reliable, and hence it is always microprocessor based computerized version needed to monitor this part. Monitoring of reciprocating engine. Continuous or online monitoring of following parameters would be vital to avoid fall in the reciprocating engine performance. Number 1, monitoring of fuel flow, pressure and temperature. Number 2, monitoring of exhaust flue gas temperature is must in order to monitor the performance of waste heat recovery system. Next point, monitoring of bearing vibration on the engine and generator must be carried out using suitable microprocessor based instrumentations. Monitoring of pressure and temperature of lube oil sent to engine cylinder, crankshaft, bearings, lubrication is very important. Generally, lube oil is replaced between 250 to 500 hours of working days or working hours, or as specified by the manufacturer in accordance with the specific engine requirement. The lube oil, in addition to this, the lube oil should be used the manufacturer specified. Next is monitoring of inlet temperature and pressure is important, as higher the ambient temperature, lower would be the power output from the reciprocating engine or vice versa. Number 2, at maintenance stage. Generally, the periodic preventive maintenance of reciprocating engine is carried out as follows. First of all, major point of maintenance to be attended in replacement of lubricating oil on condition basis, and not only on basis of norms of running hours prescribed by the manufacturer. Field oil testing kits may be used for testing to support the decision whether to change the oil. Specific discussion is provided in succeeding paragraph in view of importance of lubrication system for consistent performance of engine, which may be considered to correctly understand the importance of this point. Number 2, avoid over lubrication to prevent deposits in the engine and on turbocharger plate. Number 3, thorough inspection of reciprocating engine components like cylinder, piston rings, injectors, valve, bearing, etc. for clogged parts. Excessive wear, pitting marks may be carried out, and overhauling may be restored to after running hours prescribed by the manufacturer. Number 4, check compression pressure regularly where such provisions are made. Number 5, periodic cleaning, replacement of air filters, fuel filters, etc. is very important for desired performance of the engine. Number 6, leakage of fuel and lube oil, minor or majors, are to be avoided at all costs, as they are largely a major factors for higher fuel and lube oil consumption. Number 7, the heat exchangers for lube oil and engine jacket cooling water may be cleaned at an interval of around 500 hours depending on water quality. Number 3, that is specific practice for reciprocating engine performance. The following specific points are required due attention in order to optimize, maintain, or improve the performance of the reciprocating engine generator. These are the factors relevant to the design, operations, and maintenance of engines. It considered at various stages as required. They play instrumental role in enhance of performance. First of all, specific fuel consumption of engine varies with the charge in ambient air, that is intake temperature and pressure. Ambient air pressure changes are related to the site altitude. Hence, it is important to consider highly reliable site data as design basis to decide engine rating correctly. The data for various corrections factor is available for supercharged and non-supercharged engines from engine manufacturer. Number two, two-stroke engines may be provided with extra long stroke for fuel economy. It is preferable to get the engine with advanced digital electronics control for air fuel ratio, which marked improved the gas-fired engine performance. The reciprocating engine provides with radiators and engine-driven cooling fan. About 7 to 10% loss of engine BHP is found. Hence, such designs may be selected where there is a shortage of cooling water supply. The engine exhaust system should be designed for proper fuel and engine efficiency so that exhaust back pressure is within permissible limit and is not exceeded. The exhaust pipeline should have minimum number of smooth planes. Higher than permitted back pressure results into adverse effect on scavenging performance of engine, and there would be less oxygen in the cylinder during the subsequent compression stroke. The mechanical efficiency will reduce, therefore, due to higher exhaust pumping losses and will increase the specific fuel consumption. The engine room heat up during running of generator set due to heat radiation from the engine, generators, exhaust pipeline, and hot air from the radiator fans. Increase in ambient temperature results in hot air inside the room, which increases the fuel consumption due to decrease in the air fuel ratio as the mixture became richer. There is drop in the fuel efficiency. It is therefore very essential that the engine room is provided with effective ventilations so that hot air is continuously removed by circulation with cool air. Provision of two ventilators or wall-mounted exhaust fan on upper side can be considered. As much of radiated heat is from the exhaust pipelines and manifolds, use of some type of insulation lagging on this component reduces the heat radiated into the room ambient. Remember that the increase in intake air temperature from 25 to 40 degrees centigrade results in decrease in air fuel ratio by about 5%, and specific fuel consumption may increase in the range of 0.5 to 2% depending on the engine design. Next, number 2, engine lubrication practice. The principal function of engine oil or lubricant is to lubricate various moving parts of the engine to reduce friction and wear and to prevent or to provide smooth and trouble-free performance for increased length of time at site condition. Besides reducing friction, the engine oil has other functions. That is to keep the engine clean by sweeping away metal wear particles from fine clearance and between surface in relative motion. To supplement engine cooling by absorption of the frictional heat. To prevent corrosions of part, to act as cooling media. Number B, total lube oil consumption in the engine is the sum of engine lube oil consumption, possible oil leakage in the system, losses in centrifuging, and losses during change of oil. Number C, a series of different viscosity engine lubricating oil have to be available to cope with the varying design requirement on many types of engine available. Following properties of oil may be considered when making selection. The lubricating oil must possess good oxidation and thermal stabilities to reduce formation of sludge and carbon deposits. These give a long trouble-free service life to oil before it becomes necessary to have an engine oil change. In order to achieve functionally important properties, certain chemicals known as lubricant additives are used in small but appropriate quantities. Since plain mineral oil cannot perform all desired function, the additives improves lubrication and protect equipment from deposits, rust, corrosion, wear, and ill effects of temperature extreme. The engine performing more outdoor and heavy duty, it may be necessary to have the oil with a detergent dispresent additive. High rated engines tend to accelerate oil breakdown and formation of deposits. The oil with a high level of detergent keeps the piston clean and reduces the wear and tear rates of piston rings and cylinder liners, thereby maintaining their performance besides exceeding their service life. In particular, Such additives prevents decomposed products from being deposited on piston rings, grooves, oil paths, and other engine parts. Number D. In order to improve effect of lubrication, the engine should have invariably equipped with following accessories. That is, provision of good oil filters in the engine is closely associated with long life and maintaining of oil properties. The wear particles takes away by the oil must be kept in suspension in the oil together with displaced decomposition and fuel conversion products until they can be removed by the engine oil filtration system. Next is, prior to engine startup, main difficulty is encountered with engine lubrication, as fully stable oil circulation is not being established. As a good practice, primary pumps are used essentially on large engines to ensure adequate flow of lubricant established to start up. Arrangement for preheating of lubricating oil up to 60 to 70 degrees centigrade before startup can reduce warm-up period for engine. This would also provide a reduction of about 2 to 4% in brake-specific fuel consumption. Specifically, for engines with large sump capacities, top-up oil should also be heated. Use of thermostatically controlled oil heaters is recommended for oil heating. Periodic testing of oil in the field of essential to know about deterioration of oil properties. Provision of good oil filtration in the engine is closely associated with long life and maintaining of oil properties. Number E, it is absolutely necessary to change lube oil as per the period specified by the manufacturer. When the oil is used for prolonged duration, there is a risk that the lube oil starts to degrade and the additives are consumed. The limits are set for various chemical and physical properties of the lube oil to ensure its good quality. Hence, the lube oil should be changed when condemning limit is reached. Limits for various properties are mentioned below as informed. That is, properties are, that is, base number, implication is prevent corrosion. Unit is measured in milligram KOH per gram. Condemning limit is minimum 15 to 20. Insolubles, that is dirt in oil. Unit percentage of mass, maximum 2% is allowed. Viscosity increases fuel input. It is measured in centistroke per 100 degrees centigrade. Maximum 25% increases. Water which damage bearing, unit is percentage of volume it measured. Condemning limit is maximum 0.3. Flash point, implication is explosion risks. unit is degree centigrade. Condemning limit is minimum 170. Next is fuel management system. The fuels used in the reciprocating engines are all hydrocarbon based. As they are extracted as a byproduct of crude oil, the engine fired with natural gas experience least problem due to gas being the cleanest fuel. The liquid fuel fired in the engines are classified according to their evaporation rates or volatility. The engines are fired with less volatile fuel, high-speed diesel, light diesel oil, etc., and residual oil, furnace oil, etc. For varying viscosities, following points relevant to fuels may be paid due attention to get optimum performance from the engine. The diesel fuel quality is controlled in India according to IS 1460-1974, which covers two grades, HSD and LDO. The quality of heavy or residual fuel oil is covered under IS 1593-9198. Fuel oil are generally very difficult to vaporize and must be atomized or broken into fine minute droplets in order to achieve desired mixture of air and fuel prior to firing reactions. It is necessary to control coking properties and sulfur content in heavy fuel oils to avoid excessive sulfur deposits and corrosion due to the sulfur compound under adverse conditions. If the fuel oil contains compound of sodium, iron, nickel, or vanadium, the adverse effect of this trace metal may be taken into account. Viscosity of fuel plays a major role in optimizing the performance of the engine. If the viscosity is too low or too high, the droplet size, spray pattern, and so the consumption and fuel efficiency would vary. Too low viscosity introduces an extreme of excessive wear, whereas too high viscosity results in incomplete combustion besides frictional losses and increased load on fuel pumping system. With viscous oil, it is necessary to reduce the viscosity before they can be atomized. This is achieved by preheating of fuel to appropriate temperature to obtain viscosity at the injector tips. It is necessary to ensure proper storage and handling for liquid fuels. Dirt and contaminations will adversely affect fuel quality. HSD or LDO may be passed through the centrifuge before sending to day tank. The day tank should have conical bottom with a drain valve on drain pipe, so that sludge deposited at bottom could be easily removed from the time to time. The engine supply lines should be taken from the point above the conical front. Number 4, cooling system practice. The engine cooling system also plays an important role in maintaining the performance. Following tips are provided to supplement the tips provided for other systems. Water-cooled system would work at lower specific fuel consumptions, with provisions of separate and independent cooling water circulation system consisting of cooling towers, cooling water circulating pumps and heat exchangers. The cooling water system should be designed to achieve the maintained difference of 6 to 10 degrees centigrade in cooling tower inlet water and outlet water temperature, which results better fuel efficiency. The raw water should never be used in the engine cooling water system. It is essential to circulate only soft water so as to avoid corrosion and scaling in the pipeline. So with this, we are likely to conclude today's session. These are the references. Thank you for joining the session.